Dear boomers, well, I just got back not back, but I'm still here from voting. This is so exciting. I voted. It was such a long time coming. And Maso is with me. Masi Mas. Masi Mas. It's a beautiful day. As you can see, all the autumn colors in central Pennsylvania. Blue sky. Strangely enough, I actually ran into an undecided voter on the way out of the voting booth, and I don't understand what the problem is. So I did a little speech about how women are dying because of the abortion bans, Trump's abortion bans, and interestingly enough, I heard her listen. I mean, I could see that she was listening. I could hear it. But it's over for me. I have my sticker. There's my sticker next to the beautiful moon. The beautiful moon. I actually am ill, which I knew I would go vote no matter what. I am ill, but I am getting better now. It'll be quite a relief today as we go about our day and I'm not going to listen to anybody but Midas Touch, Anthony Davis, Anthony Popak, and other people on the Midas Touch network, because they actually are going to have some polling people in that are not used by the mainstream media. And that interests me because they swear by these people, and they have a different way of doing their polling, which will be a learning experience. But I did see a breakdown of the vote this morning, and if you just look at it generally, it is neck and neck. But when you see who has been voting, the early vote favors a lot of women who are concerned about dying if they should have to have an abortion in a Trump abortion ban state, of which the number is growing. And in fact, one woman recently did die just within the last few days, and I'm not sure which state. So we are out here at a church right up the street from where I live, and it's going up into the 80s today in central Pennsylvania. Wow, isn't that awesome? And I saw some old faces in here that I've seen all the time. I go voting. I've been living here about 6 or 7 years. See the same faces, very dedicated people. Nobody's causing any trouble. And not here. I'm sure they are somewhere. But I was a little worried when I was talking to the woman who was undecided, and her husband looked. But I don't care anymore. Life is too short not to speak up and not to tell people that their point of view is absolutely ridiculous. So all my life, when I go vote, the only time I couldn't vote for a president, which was President Obama, was when my car broke down at my place of work. And I tried to get an old order Mennonite man to help me, and he couldn't, and there was no way anybody could. So I had to get the car towed, and I ended up not voting. He won by a landslide, but that doesn't matter. I was not able to express my vote, my voice, and that was upsetting to me. But we have to stop hanging on to these things. I have to let go. And I'm not exactly ecstatic about being drawn into the thinking of the world like this election has been, and how politics is like that. It draws people into a lot of fear, is what it is. Fear. Because there's a lot of legitimate fear here if Donald Trump would win, which he will not. And we have to be very careful with these dictatorial authoritarians. And as I was speaking yesterday about that, Ruth Gott I got the book in the mail. She is an authority on dictatorial regimes and how they come about, purely by people losing touch with their civic responsibilities and doubting the powers that be, and not having any faith in in our democracy. In fact, some people may need some lessons on what democracy is, I feel. I'm going to keep in touch with certain commentators that I enjoy and throughout the day. And we won't know really until maybe tomorrow who won this election. But I believe it's going to be a landslide because of the abortion issue. And, it's not just me not having children. This is what the undecided woman was saying. She was saying, well, I don't have any children. I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter whether you have any children or not. There's a lot of people with children, and if they have a child that dies, an embryo in utero, then we find that the state that has the abortion ban won't do the right thing by the woman. They will not allow her to have an abortion, and then a lot of these women die and are dying. And so we really can't wait around for this kind of thing. We can't wait around. What do you think, Mossy? Mossy Moss? Little doggy dog? Little doggy dog. We can't wait around. We cannot wait around, but we have to wait until we find out whether we can have a Congress that will verify Roe v. Wade again. That may be difficult with the stupidity there now. Politics. I was just thinking about my mother in relationship to all of this. She was a dynamic, outspoken woman who had a way about her attitude towards Republicans that was grace. It was grace. I don't have that kind of grace. I have no patience for people who think idiotically about what is right and what is wrong, really. And as I mentioned yesterday, and I've mentioned before, we were targeted by the John Birch Society, by a bunch of bigots, and this is what the Republican Party has become now. And I don't think the John Birch Society was affiliated with Republicans necessarily. They were just a lone group of bigots. And that's what the Republican Party, Trump and all his Trumpism reminds me of. A bunch of John Birch Society people who threaten people, and then he threatens people, and then his gang of thugs goes after those Trump has threatened. I don't find that to be cool. I don't, and also it triggers me because of my background. We were, marching in the civil rights movement. My sister and my father met Martin Luther King. We were raised in the decade of assassinations. And so we also marched against this war in Vietnam. So my mother was the one who helped us do all of that. And she was fearless. She was not educated per se, but she was self-educated. And I'll never forget the time. She and my uncle was a total Republican, and my mother was a total liberal. And we have a tape of the two of them discussing the war in Vietnam. And my mom knew every war, every general, and how they conducted themselves on the war. She was completely against it. And, you know, she would be totally against Gaza, which we all are. And we're looking to Kamala to take care of this Gaza situation. And she will. She will. I have faith in her. So, interestingly enough, John Mears, who was recently on my channel, he and his mother in particular, was close to my mother and father. And he was raised the same way I was in so many ways. And we have a lot of laughs about it. It's great to have gotten back into contact with him. His daughter Angela passed. And in fact, we did do another interview, and I have it to put up, and I'll put it up in the next week. But today I just wanted to discuss the voting situation. I feel really good about it, and I do care about the outcome. You know, we're not supposed to, in spiritual terms, care about the outcome of anything. We do something without any regard to the outcome. The journey in the moment is the most important thing. But in this case, I do care about the outcome. I do not want to live in a dictatorship and listen to Donald Trump's mouth for the rest of my life. He needs to fade away, and many of us will be very happy. There's going to be a video that shows up here. Take a look, and have a great one.